In this part of the lesson, we're going to continue Lesson 05 in our class website. Go ahead and click on this link and it'll take you to our book. I already have it downloaded. You should too. It's going to be page 141, Applying Advanced Color Correction. So we're going to do a few things. The first one will be adjusting levels. Moving onward, you can go to the Resources tab to download the project files, or you can click on this link right here that I've provided. In this part of the lesson, you need to download 0b_start. So go ahead, right click and download that. It is a Photoshop file. So all you need to do is go to your downloads folder and let's cut this. We're moving it to your class folder. So remember, you made a document or a folder inside the documents folder for your period. Go ahead and paste it there. And you can just go ahead and double click or press enter. And that should open immediately on Photoshop. So the first part, adjusting levels. There are two ways to do this. The first way, this is the not so productive way, is image adjustment levels. So this is the first way. The problem with this is it'll apply the effect to your original layer. So later on, when you want to go back, you made a mistake, because it already applied it to your original layer, it'll just give you more problems later down the line. So the book or this lesson shows us another way through the layers adjustments panel that'll help us do this without touching or permanently altering your original file. So if you haven't already, go to Window, Workspace, Reset Essentials, just to make sure everything's on default. You're going to be using the adjustments panel here on the right side. I'm going to tear it out and drag it here just to show you. I'm also going to tear out my layers panel. So the book tells you to click on the levels button here. It'll create a brand new layer. It's an adjustment layer. And now we're going to do a few adjustments in the properties panel. So moving onward, it'll tell you to create or click on the calculate a more accurate histogram. It's on the left side of the properties panel. So let's go ahead and click on that. It's right there. It'll just give you a more nuanced levels or histogram here. All right, next, you're going to drag these anchors at the bottom, okay, and or handles. As you drag them, they stand for black, grays, and the lights. So let's follow the book. It tells us to drag and apply these values. You can also type it there. So in my properties panel, let me put my layers panel back here. It tells us to see how you can, not this one. This one tells you to drag this one. This is for blacks. This is middle tones. And this is highlights. By default, it's 0, 1, and 255. So let's move it to 24. And this is 1.18 according to the book. The cool thing about this is that it doesn't alter your original layer. So you can turn it off, you can delete it, and you'll still preserve your original photo. Next, we are going to use the spot healing brush tool here. Okay, so this is now moving on to page 143. Um, what we first need to do is duplicate this layer. So the first way to do it is by dragging this layer to the create a new layer button. So let me show you how to do that. You just click and drag it down and you release right there and it'll create a copy. The book tells you to do this one. There's another step, layer, duplicate layer. Okay, so make sure your background is highlighted, layer, duplicate layer. And we're going to name it corrections. Let's go ahead and do that. Click OK. Next, we need to zoom in to her face. So you go ahead and use the zoom tool. You'll notice that she has a strand of hair there. So we're going to have to correct that. So let's select the spot healing brush tool. And in the options bar, we need to apply the following settings. Size 7, mode is normal, type is content aware. So the spot healing brush tool should be right here underneath the eyedropper tool. Again, if you're not sure which tool is which, you just hover your mouse over and Photoshop will show you the name of the tool and a brief preview. So spot healing brush tool. Let's adjust the size to 9 or 7, sorry. Content aware is already selected for you. Mode is normal. So let's go ahead and draw a strand here just as the book instructs us to do. That should replace the strand with her skin. Now, for step 6, paint over fine lines around her eyes and mouth. You can also brush away the red veins in the model's eyes, freckles, and spots on her face. Experiment with simply clicking, using very short strokes, and creating longer brush strokes. Remove obtrusive and distracting lines and blemishes, but leave enough that the face retains its character. So this is the end of page 143, moving on to the next one now.